Good morning, my YouTube family. I'm walking this morning, trying to get my exercise. I don't usually go live or try to go live on YouTube because I don't necessarily trust my data to sustain my efforts. But I'm trying today, and just want to talk about for a few minutes. Don't waste your life. Um, don't waste your time, rather. And really, they're one and the same because, good morning, how are you? They're one and the same because time is life. And when you allow people to play with your time, good morning, how are you all? Good to see you. When you allow people to play with your time, waste your time, they're wasting your life. And so I was just led as I'm doing my little, good morning, sir, doing my little walk through my hood, if you will. I was just thinking about you. I said, well, let me try to see if I can go live and if it'll work. A few things I want to say to you is some of you are just getting your day started, depending on what part of the country or the world you're in. If you're on the West Coast, yeah, you probably are just getting up and getting started. East Coast, you probably been in it now for about an hour or two. But first thing I want to say to you, these are things that I've learned about life and time, is you do not allow, number one, do not allow negative people to preoccupy you emotionally today. I really regret this, but I have wasted a lot of years worrying about people who don't matter, worrying about people who do not matter. And I mean, lost, hours, weeks, months, years, concerning myself with people who don't matter. They can kind of ease into your space, get into your head, ruin your day. And the thing you have to understand is they find joy. They find joy in bringing you misery. So when they come into your space and they say things or do things that pull you down, they leave away from that experience with this demonic sense of fulfillment because they've accomplished what they wanted to accomplish. It's kind of like Nehemiah up on the wall, building the wall, and Sanballat and his crew came and said, come on down, let's go have lunch. But the Bible says they thought to do him much evil. And Nehemiah's response to them was, I can't come down, I'm doing something that's too important. I can't come down and be bothered with you all. Emotionally today, you have to position yourself in a place and at a place where you're not accessible to small, insignificant people. And when I say small and insignificant, I'm not speaking as though you're superior to anyone. No one's superior to another. But in your spirit and in your consciousness, you're just on another level. And you're not going to allow them to cause you to go backwards. And you're not going to allow them to rob you of the joy of this day because you're not certain to get another one. So why would you allow someone to rob you of the joy of this day? Why? No one is really that important that you're going to allow them to rob you of the joy of life. This is a day that God has allowed you to be alive. And you mean to tell me you're going to allow me or someone else to come into your life, and you're going to allow an individual to have so much power over you that they rob you of the joy of this day? You're going to miss a whole 24 hours worth of joy and happiness that you'll never get back? Don't waste your time with that. When you discover that people are bringing drama, reposition them. Reposition them. Sometimes you move them to the left or the right. Sometimes you move them completely out. But reposition them, because you don't have time for people that don't inspire you. You don't have time for people. I don't have time for people that do not inspire me. If you don't inspire me, if you don't put me in the right spirit, if you don't bring me up, I'm not going to allow you into my life to pull me down. But that's my responsibility. That's not yours. You know, you're responsible for your life. All of these people you have that you complain about in your life that's doing this to you, you let them into your life. You're responsible for that. And you keep them in your life. When you discover that a person is toxic, a narcissist to some of you, and I know that you say, oh, it's not as easy done as it is said, but, and I agree with that. Some people, hello, sir. Some people, it's very difficult to get them out of your life, but by any means necessary, you got to get them out of your life. You can't let them continue to consume blocks of your life and your time. The second thing I would say to you today is make intentional connections. You know, a lot of times you're wasting time. Now listen to this very carefully, because this is going to help you. A lot of times you're spinning your wheels. You're spending your wheels. I'm trying to overcome that southern thing. I can articulate a lot better. You're spinning your wheels on projects and with things that God has already put the people around you, put them in your space, in your place, in your life, in your vicinity, who can, just with a half-hour instruction, elevate your productivity. But you keep going back every day trying to prove that you can figure it out. Why figure it out when somebody can tell you? How you doing, sir? Pretty good. I heard one man say, I think it's Napoleon Hill, wrote one of his books. He said, I don't need to use my brain power on trying to remember stuff that's written in the books in the library. I don't need to use my brain power on trying to remember law when I have a lawyer. Some of you all are wasting time on stuff that God has put other people in your vicinity to help you with. But what's killing you and what's wasting your time is that you're not a person given to relationship. You say, I hear you say all the time, I'm just not that kind of person. I'm just a loner. Well, you're not kind of relate to that, because I'm a person that enjoys being alone. I do. And that, you know, I love being by myself. But I'm also a person that's wise enough to know that being by myself is a luxury for me. For some of y'all, it's a misery, but for me, it's a luxury. But being with other people is a necessity. I hope y'all caught what I just said. Being alone for me is a luxury, because I enjoy being by myself. I love the quiet. I love not having to talk. I talk all the time, clearly, for a living. That's a luxury for me to be by myself. But being with people is a necessity. And so at a certain point, I had to adjust my thinking and my perspective, you know, because I found myself pulling away from people that I should have been drawing closer to. People that could have made my life a lot easier, a lot sooner. And there's some of you who are going into an office with people who can quickly shift you and are willing to shift you to the next level, but because you have not intentionally worked on your relational skills, you sit in there in your cubicle, in your office, struggling with stuff that people could help you get over today. Why waste that time trying to figure something out when somebody can sit you down and teach you? Huh? Third thing, and these are, I'm just talking off the top of my head. I'm walking And really, y'all just kind of helping me push through it. Got about 4 miles I'm trying to do today. Whew, Jesus. Lord have mercy. Help me, Lord. Okay, back to the point. Third thing is why? 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 Now, y'all know I got to go here because this is what I talk about most of the time. You already know where I'm going. I have an idea. Why maintain a romantic relationship with somebody, and when you sit down and analyze what this person has brought into your life, and you come back with 0, or maybe a -3, you 3 spots under 0 now since you met them. Why maintain that? Why even ask if you should move forward in a relationship with somebody that is doing absolutely nothing for you? You making all of the deposits, you doing all of the loving, you making all of the sacrifices, and you trying to figure out, should you keep this person in your life? Relationship is intended. There's a teaching I did a couple of years ago on relationship. Ship indicates a vessel that is designed to hold multiple people, bringing them in the same direction. A ship can't go in 2 different directions. Hello, pretty good. It can make multiple stops on the same course, but it can't go in different directions. You can't be in a relationship with somebody that's pulling you in a direction that doesn't agree with your inner constitution. You know who you are, you know where you're going, and you have this person on board that is robbing you of your essence. And they're robbing you on a daily basis of who you really are. You're hurting. They being themselves is hurting you being yourself. And you're sitting here and you're wasting day after day, week after week, month after month in a relationship that you knew was going in a different direction with a person that you knew was going in a different direction 2 weeks after you met him. Why waste your time like that? Why waste your time like that? Don't waste your time. Your time is your life. You don't have time to waste with pointless relationships. Let me let y'all go. I can see y'all tired. Fourth thing, I think this would be number 4, that I would say to you is drastically wasting your time. Good morning. Fourth thing that is drastically wasting your time is when you wake up every day, listen to what I'm saying, and you go to a job and you work 40 plus hours a week, or however many hours you work, and you bring all of those resources home, and on the weekend you run through the mall and squander, literally just waste every dime you work for. You're wasting your life. When you waste your money, you're wasting your life. And you got all of this junk that you've bought in your closet, parked in your driveway. You got all of this stuff you want and don't have the money for what you need. You're wasting your life. And then the thing you're failing to understand when you're in your working years is that you're not going to be able to work like this forever. You think you're going to be able to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week for the rest of your life? That's a short time that you're going to be able to work like that. What you make today is supposed to go into your tomorrow, to be able to take care of you tomorrow when you can't work tomorrow like you're working today. Some of you all that are listening and watching this right now, you need to get into a financial literacy program. You need somebody to teach you what to do with money. Because when you waste your money, you are wasting your life. The Bible calls money a defense. The Bible says money answers all things. When your children need to go to college, you're going to have some money. When you get at an age where you don't want to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go on a job and work 12, 14 hours, you're going to need to have some money. When you can't get out to bed or you move a little slower than you used to move and people don't want you on their job, you're supposed to be able to tell them take their job and do whatever they want to do with it. Because you have some money. But when you wake up now in your youth and you more worried about red bottoms and weave and all this kind of junk and cars, some of y'all just buying all of these crazy cars. You don't have no money, riding around with all these cars paying. You got, 40% of your income going to pay for a car that you pulling up to an apartment. Why do you need a Benz pulling up to an apartment? You don't even own the roof over your head. You got a car. You're wasting your life, babe. You're wasting your life. You're wasting your time. Every paycheck, as much as you're supposed to pay your bills, pay other folk, pay the folk that you owe. Don't borrow people money and don't pay them back. It's a bad habit people got. Don't borrow folk money if you're not going to pay them back. But when you get through paying other people, make certain that you pay yourself. Your savings account is you paying yourself. And then you build your savings account to a point where you have enough money in there to go sit down and talk with somebody about where I can invest this, and make certain that you research all this stuff they're asking you to invest in. Don't just invest because they tell you to do it. If you don't understand it, don't invest in it. Leave your money sit in the account where it's safe. You should have real estate. You should have real estate. You shouldn't just be working every day and don't have nothing to show for it. If you don't know what to invest in real estate. You get good credit. Think about it. You have good credit, and you can go down there and get the best interest rate. In some cases, you can use 100% of those other folks' money to get you a piece of property or an investment property. Put a few dollars in the property. You got let's just say you got a $700 note on it, and you're receiving $1,800 rent. It ain't hard to put that together. That house gonna pay for itself, and it's gonna dump money in your pocket. Now what if you duplicate that 10 times? What's your portfolio looking like then? But if you just keep going along with no plan, no strategy, no vision, you're just working all of your young years away, and then you're gonna wait until you get old to figure out, I ain't got nothing. Well, whose fault is it? When you start looking at over the last 30, 40 years, you made $2 million, and now you have nothing to show for it. Jesus, you're wasting your time, babe. You're wasting your time. Number 5, I guess, since we just talking, just having a conversation while I walk. Y'all actually on here? Okay. Hey, Paulina. I love you, girl. I'm proud of you, too. You're doing your thing. Another thing is if you find yourself more invested in entertainment than you are education and application of that education, you're wasting your life. I mean, I'm not necessarily, I love Beyonce. I think Beyonce is one of the most gifted singers and entertainers to ever exist. She's almost, well, not almost, she's probably like the female Michael Jackson. If she, worked as hard as he did, she'd probably be putting out the same kind of numbers. But she's a mother and a wife and all of that. People love Beyonce. But if you're gonna go and spend however many hundreds of dollars y'all spend on these tickets, and you ain't got no books, you got more money invested in music than you have books, you haven't gone to nobody's seminar, you haven't taken anybody's course, you haven't gone to anybody's school, just because you know all the Beyonce songs, that's not gonna impact your bottom line. It may decrease it, but it ain't gonna increase your bottom line. You're gonna have to know something. If you sitting there and you just more given to folly, you more given to dancing than you are learning, you wasting your life. You wasting your life. Y'all cut me off yet? Okay. Can't believe y'all actually still there with me. This is usually the Facebook thing. Facebook like me to do this. You wasting your life. You know? So these are just some thoughts I had. Man, I just hate to see people waste time. You know? I hate to see people waste time. If people make an appointment with me, and really, if you're 10 minutes late, I'm pretty much out of there. I'm pretty much out of there, unless you called and told me you're running late. I mean, all of us run late. But you ought to be respectful of a person's time to the point where you say, well, let me call, let them know why I'm running late. And you shouldn't be running an hour late. If you're going to run an hour late, you should have called 2 hours early to cancel. Because when you waste my time, you waste my life. There's some other things I could have been doing with that time. And I need you to begin to view time. Time is money, and time is life. Time is not something you are supposed to waste. And too many people are wasting it. I'm looking at a brilliant generation of young people, the smartest, most brilliant generation of young people we've had, but not the wisest. Not the wisest. Not the wisest. Y'all more educated. You got all of these degrees, and you're still coming home living in your mama's house and your daddy's house and all this kind. You know everything, and you're broke because you're not the wisest. And you're not the wisest because this generation, a lot of y'all just wasting too much time. You're wasting too much time, back over what I said, in frivolous relationships that it don't take no rocket scientist to figure out this ain't going nowhere. You're wasting time because you're more given to entertainment than you are education or empowerment. Back to the basics. You're wasting time because you don't do the right stuff with money. You waste your life. Jesus. Yeah, always somebody else's fault. Oh, there you go. You done started me up again. When you wasting your life and wasting your time and you get the fruit of that, now you want to blame it on somebody else. You know, it's kind of like me. Okay, let me just use me so I don't offend anybody. If I squander all the money I make, and then I get to a point where I have an emergency and I can't get, I don't have what I could. When you need them, you wasn't there for yourself. And now you want people to reach into their resources to bail you out of a situation that you created because you didn't respect your resources and you didn't respect the time that you put in. Now you mad with other people because they won't bankrupt their system for you. Because you wasted your time. You got your crazy self up, went to that job every day, saved nothing. Now you got a $20,000 roof leak that you can't meet the demand of. You can't go borrow it because you didn't even pay your bills on time. You ain't got nothing saved to do it in cash like you should have. So now you got to sit there and watch your roof leak into your house and create mold and damage all the rest of your structure because you wasted your time. And now you're going to talk about my family, my people, my church. Nobody was there. You wasn't there for yourself. Baby, you got to learn to be there for yourself. Life is too hard for people to just keep bailing you out. When you going to learn to bail yourself out? Y'all still with me? Oh, yeah, they leaving me now. All right, I got to go. I got to go. I love y'all. I want you to have